Welcome to our practice. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. As you can see, I have a new mic. It's sort of like having a little pet resting on my shoulder, but hopefully it's going to make the sound better. So we'll be doing a wall practice today, so press pause if you need to, set yourselves up, and let's meet in Sukhasana and open this space together. With the exhale, releasing tension from the shoulders, from the face. Settling into ourselves more deeply as we release the outer world. And then lifting the hands and pressing the palms together in front of the sternum. From this sacred space, opening our practice with one. Inhale. And the hands releasing, the eyelids open. And let's begin. Okay, moving whatever you were sitting on, coming to an Adho Mukha Svanasana with our heels lifted and the backs of the heels pressing against the wall. So first of all, really spread those fingers widely, making space. Line the knees up with your hands and exhale, heels to the wall. Maybe walk your hands a little bit forward to get more distance between the hands and the feet. And then lowering the head down. Using your eyes to check on your feet, make sure the inner arches aren't collapsing. Make sure the knees are straight. Push the front thighs back. And then looking up, walking the feet forward the width of the mat, hanging Uttanasana. The knees are right in front of the eyes. So first of all, relax the knees and look at what that looks like. And now grip the knees upwards and see the difference. Keep that grippingness, climb it all the way up the quadriceps, right to the top third of the quadriceps, which is the laziest part. Grip it up, femurs into the hip sockets, and pull the elbows down. And then the hands releasing and rising back up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, hands against the wall. So thumb and index finger, palms are flat on the floor. Look at the inner elbows, they want to face the wall. So don't drop your heads down immediately. Keep the head lifted to keep an eye on the elbows. Coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your heels are lifted, the head still looking forward. Straighten the legs. Look at those inner elbows, their tendency to turn in, and be stronger than they are. Roll the right arm to the right, the left to the left, inner elbows facing forward, and then lowering the head down, and now using your inner drishti to keep an eye inside on the integrity of the inner elbows. With your outer eyes, you can see your legs, push the shins back, push the thighs back, feel new firmness and aliveness come to the legs. And then looking up and walking in, we're going to use the wall to trap ourselves into an even deeper experience of Uttanasana. So walk in, walk in, walk in, walk in, back to the wall, and then holding onto the elbows, and with an exhale, straighten those legs and suck the quadriceps up, femurs sharply penetrating into the hip sockets, and the hands pulling the elbows down. The back of the neck long. If your skull is pushing on the wall, it's because you're shortening the back of the neck. So bring the chin towards the chest and you'll feel that length coming. And then releasing the hands and sliding, coming back out. All right, back to Adho Mukha Svanasana with our heels against the wall, and then we'll be coming into Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. So place the hands. Make even more space in the webbing of the hands. Really pull the thumb away from the index fingers. Knees lined up with the hands first, and find Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now bring the feet together. Push your shins back, your thighs back. Now lifting the left leg up first and turning the toes under, finding the wall. That left leg rolling in like a Virabhadrasana 3 back leg. Squeeze the inner knees of both of your legs. Push yourself away from your hands. And then looking up and step the left leg forward, nice wide lunge, rocking forward and backwards. And then the back knee resting on the mat. Don't let the buttocks lift up, press them down and come onto the forearms, lowering the head. And back up, straight into Adho Mukha Svanasana with our feet together. Backs of the heels pressing against the wall. Stretch those arms and stretch those legs, be dynamic. And now lifting your right leg, finding the wall, rolling that right thigh in. Straightening the legs, charging the arms. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Keep squeezing the knees. And now, stepping the right leg forward to a nice wide lunge. And rocking forward and backwards. And then the left knee bending. And coming onto the forearms. And lowering the head down. And then coming back up and stepping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, but feet apart. Now push your shins back, push your thighs back, straighten those knees, straighten those elbows. Move the arms towards the hands and push your weight away from the hands. And then bending the knees and coming down and sitting back. All right, we're now going to get 2 blocks and a strap and meet back on the mat for the next bit. Having the blocks on the side, we'll be coming right to them first. We're going to do a little Supta Paramushasana 1, and we want to prepare the strap so that it's a nice big loop. And we can adjust the perfect size once we're in it. And then come and lie down on your backs, feet together, knees a little bit bent, and move the buttocks towards the wall. And then straighten the legs, the buttocks still going towards the wall, so the lower back is in no way overarched. Okay, taking our strap, finding the bottom part of the loop, not the buckle bit, and go ahead and place it underneath the shoulder blades. And then take the rest of the strap and let's bend that right knee and place the strap on the arch of the right foot and straighten the leg. So if your strap is too small, obviously making it bigger, but if the strap is too big, you won't feel the right tension, in which case you'd want to tighten it. So hit pause if you need to get that perfect distance for you. Now roll this left thigh in. Don't let this left thigh roll open. It loves to do that, so just relax. Roll it in, press the front thigh down, grip this leg, push the front thigh muscle to the thigh bone. Front shoulders back, and feel how the strap is pulling the shoulder blades up. Don't resist that. Let the shoulder blades be pushed up so there's a whole different sensation in the chest. The inner body is opening. Femur is still coming into the hip sockets. Check that the lower back isn't overarching if that's your tendency, so the abdomen wants to descend. Right, and releasing ourselves from the right side. Don't just lift up the left leg, find Supta Tadasana first. Make sure the buttocks are going towards the heels. And now, left leg lifting, place the strap on the arch of the left foot. And exhale, straighten the legs, Supta Paramushasana 1. Front shoulders back, shoulder blades pressing up. Use your inner drishti to check on the state of your right leg. Is it rolling open? Are you able to keep it rolling in? Use your outer drishti to check on the state of this left front thigh. Iron it to the bone. And with each inhale, feel the shape of the inner body changing, expanding, opening. And then bending that left leg. And just hold the strap with your hands and find Supta Tadasana. Firm the legs. And now we're going to do both legs at the same time. Urdhva Prasalita Padasana. So the strap on the arch of the feet together. And straighten the legs. Push into the strap. And at the same time with your hands, pull the strap to pull the femur bones into the hip sockets. And make sure that you're not resisting the action of the straps underneath the shoulder blades. In other words, don't press the shoulder blades down to the ground. Let them be lifted up by the strap and feel the corresponding openness in the front of the chest. And then bending the knees, releasing, rolling over. And let's just move the strap to the side. And now take those 2 blocks that we have. And let's check our distance first. We'll be doing a Ardha Virabhadasana 3. So just check the distance. Move the blocks a little forward so they're not right jammed into the feet. Fingertips on the blocks. Grip the legs up. All right, lifting the left leg first. Finding the wall. Make sure the foot is in line with the hip. Use your eyes to see. Both thighs slightly rolling in and the muscles gripping the bones. And now press down into the fingertips, lift the chin up and try to move the sternum forward. And then lowering the left leg. Lower your head to check that your feet are lining up. And keeping the head lowered, watch the lifting of the right leg. Make sure the knee isn't bent in any way and that the foot is in line with the hip, not lower. Roll that thigh in, toes facing down. Grip the legs and then press into the fingertips. Look up, chin up, sternum moving forward. And then lowering the leg back down and rising back up. Okay, let's take that action into our Shirshasana. So moving the blocks, grabbing a blanket or using the wall and kneeling back on the mat. When you place your blanket, just lift the back of the blanket up and come in a little closer, because at one point I want our heels to be on the wall, even if they don't need to be for you, and so I don't want you to be incorrectly positioned. So just reducing the space of the blanket a little bit. All right, extend the arms. Bring the hands to the shoulders. Do not let the elbows go out. Scoop them in. Place the elbows on the blanket and interlock your fingers. Press your thumbs against each other. This is really important to help bring that bracing quality to the arms, to the shoulders, so that it will not take it in the neck. Bring the crown of the head onto your blankets. Press the forearms down, lift the shoulders up. Turn the toes under, straighten the legs, walk the feet in, keep lifting the shoulders. And now lifting one leg and the other, finding Shirshasana. If you don't need the wall for your feet, you don't have to have the heels against it yet. We'll be here for a couple of minutes before we move into our variations. Keep pressing the forearms down, lifting the shoulders up. Jogging the legs. Reaching up to the sky. Check on the state of your face. Has it become tense? Re-relax the face. Re-relax the brain. Let the body's intelligence take over. Now let's bring the heels to the wall, but don't let that make the legs passive. Keep the backs of the legs firm. Alright, Ekabada Shirshasana. We'll be lowering the right leg first. So first, fix your left heel firmly, your left leg firm, your right leg firm, and then lowering the right leg with that firmness intact. Often when we lower the legs, we let things get a little sloppy. And then when we're in the pose, we think, okay, now I'll straighten. No, keep it straight, firm the whole way down, and just lower the leg to hip height. No lower. Relift the shoulders. And back up to Shirshasana. Press the forearms down, lift the shoulders up. Ekabada Shirshasana on the left. Firm legs, roots of the thighs firm as we lower the left leg down. Relax your jaws. Lift the shoulders up again. Make sure those thumbs are still pressing against each other to help you. And then back up to Shirshasana. Charge the legs, make sure the backs of the legs are firm. You're reaching up with the legs to the sky. Lift your shoulders up again. And preparing to come down, one leg at a time. Sitting back and stretching the arms forward. Shoulders broad, palms facing each other. Yoga Mudrasa. Looking back up and coming out. Knees together. Padvatasana Madrasana, arms in front, interlock the fingers, turn the palms out and press those thumbs against each other and lift up. Lift the sternum to the sky. Press the front thighs down. And then bring the arms down, release, change the interlock of the fingers, turn the palms out, thumbs pressing against each other, and lift up. Pashvatasana. Lengthen your right waist, lengthen your left waist, reach up. Keep the thumbs pressing against each other. And then bring the arms back down. And releasing. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And let's now take a twisting Paschimottanasana. So we'll be using the wall and we'll be folding our blanket lengthways like this and placing it arm's distance away from the wall. So do just take the time to check your distance. So once you've checked your distance, go ahead and sit on the end of this folded blanket and stretch the legs straight out. Paschimottanasana, legs widen those buttocks apart from each other so that the inner groins of each leg can roll down to the floor, but the kneecaps are facing the sky. Pull the toes back and wrap those muscles around the leg bones. Firm. Alright, so left hand on the thigh and right arm reaching back. Baddha-Vajrasaning in Paschimottanasana. That lovely opening, we're getting down the length of the arm. Now lift the sternum up. And now let's turn the hand so the fingers face down. And again, a slightly different opening in the arms and the shoulders. And releasing back to the front. And to the left. So right hand presses against the thigh and left arm moving back. Baddha-Vajrasaning in Paschimottanasana. Now just because you might feel more sensation in the left arm doesn't mean that the right arm doesn't have a purpose. Keep that right hand pressing to help you to turn and twist. And now turn the fingers down and experience different sensation in the opening of the arms. Lift the sternum, twisting, turning. And releasing. And back to the front. Okay, now it's time to take this blanket in. No need to check distance. We are coming right in. We're going to increase the intensity of the shoulder opening. So notice that I'm not jammed right up to the wall. There is a little space here. Okay, taking a seat right on the edge, legs out in front, and prepare for sit bones. Left hand in its Baddha-Vajrasaning action. Right arm lifting, you have to lean forward a little bit in order to get the arm all the way around and then diagonalize it down. And then straighten the spine. See my feet, how separate they are? Try to rejoin the inner feet. And then turn the head to the right. Lift the sternum. Both hands, both arms have a purpose. And as we release, we lean forward to bring the arm out and to the center. Neutralize, inhale, exhale, and time to the other side. So right hand into its Baddha-Vajrasaning action, Leaning forward a little bit as we rainbow the left arm over and down, diagonalizing it. Look at your feet, that tendency that they have to separate to accommodate you, and line them up again, turning and twisting. Keeping aware of the sternum plate, brightening it up towards the sky. And leaning forward, bringing the arm out. And releasing, neutralizing here. Inhale, exhale. And coming out. Alright, it's now time for Sarvangasana. So getting the blankets that you need, and surprise, surprise, we're going to be doing Ekapala Sarvangasana using the wall for our foot so that the foot will be hip height, not coming down all the way. Grabbing that stuff, including a strap, and leaning back on the mat. Alright, so I've got one blanket underneath just so it's a little bit comfy for the back of the skull so that it can move and not get stuck. And then I've got 3 blankets on top, and you do want to take the time to check your distance. So pause on me if you need to, making sure that your foot will be able to touch the wall. And then your strap. Where's my strap? Oh, there we go. Let's take the little one, easy to manage. And loop from the inner armpit to the inner armpit. Let's go ahead and, I'll sit here so you can see, place the strap on the arms already. So thread them through. I can go a little bit smaller. You don't want to go too small. It's not supposed to be torture. It's supposed to be postural integrity. All right, hands on the hips, elbows back, front shoulders back. Feel that action. And then let's go ahead and come in. Rolling up, the hands onto the back, and the legs straightening, finding Sarvangasana. Pull the toes down towards you and lengthen the backs of the heels. Keep trying to climb the hands higher and higher up the back. And those front thighs to the thigh bones. Make sure that your shoulders aren't hunching up to your ears. And charge up to the sky. Now let's lower the right leg. Finding the wall, hip height. And ignite the actions that we've been working with. Knees firm, inner knees squeezed. Muscles wrapping around the leg bones. Femurs coming into the hip sockets. And back up to Sarvangasana. And now the left leg. Ekapada Sarvangasana. Don't let that right thigh roll open. Keep it rolled in. Charge your legs. And then back up to Sarvangasana. And now both legs for a Halasana, but not bringing the feet to the floor, feet to the wall. Look at your legs. Use your eyes to verify that the legs are firm, sharp. Draw the femurs into the hip sockets and straighten the arms behind and roll each shoulder back. The strap will keep them parallel. Press the arms down. Press the back ribs up. And then hands to the back again. Lifting the legs back up, Sarvangasana. And then bending the knees. And extending the arms. The hands are there to support you so that you can unroll with greater control. And immediately just moving back, you can slide the strap off the arms. And we want our shoulder blades to be off the pile of blankets and our hips and lower back to be on the pile of blankets. Now, widen the feet apart, turn the toes in, and rest the inner knees against each other. Extend the arms. Even out the breath and re-soften the face. And now rolling over to the right, pushing ourselves back up and out. Okay, we now have to move the mat. We want to move the mat so that it is perpendicular and parallel to the wall. And we need a strap. We're going to be coming to Jatara Padmasana. So moving all this out of the side, moving the strap in and moving the mat in and having a strap. Right, strap, wall, we're right in, and at first we're going to feel squinched, and then you're going to see how wonderful this is. So, we are lying down, and we're using the long edge of the mat for our arms. So, you can see why we wanted to turn that mat around. So we can really get nice open shoulders and strong arms. The hands will be holding the mat like this, extending. So no bent elbows, no passiveness there. And now let's take this strap And bend the knees. And just put the strap around. Buckle in the middle and the front. And tighten up. Okay, feet together. Re-extend those arms. Now let's bring the knees to the left first, that will be twisting to the right. So prepare by just moving your hips and buttocks a little bit to the right, which is going to help to bring the knees down more efficiently to the left elbow. The wall is there, the feet can press against. Now charge those arms, and then from the belly button with an exhale, turn and twist to the right. Remember, the hands are pressing down and away from each other. And then coming back to the center. All right, ready for the other side. So holding the mat, we'll bring the knees to the right, twisting to the left. So first moving the hips a little bit to the left, and then see how the knees just want to come down to the right, towards the elbow, because the wall is holding us in. The feet find the wall. Now locate your belly button, inhale, charge your arms, and exhale from the center of the body, the navel, and turn and twist to the left. Now the arms will really help you to turn the upper back. So remember, use them and feel the left shoulder blade moving towards the right as you twist, the head turning too. And then bringing the face back in. And let's take the strap, sliding it off. Extend the legs. Pull the toes back, firm the legs. We're not resting yet, soon, but not quite yet. Bring the arms up, cross the thumbs, stretch the arms back. Femurs coming into the hip sockets. And as the arms stretch, they stretch the waist. Now press the shoulder blades up so the chest is open, the side ribs are broad. And then bring the arms up, change the cross of your thumbs, and re-stretch, last little bit here. Now try to bring the legs just a little bit away from the wall so that they are really perpendicular to the ground. No diagonalization at all. Femurs coming cleanly into the hip sockets. Stretch the arms. And then bring the feet back to the wall. Bring the arms back up. And releasing. Right, bending and rolling over and back up. And yes, the moment that we're ready for a Shavasana. So let's turn our mats back. Let's take a blanket. You might want to have a bolster underneath your knees and leaning back for Shavasana. So in your Shavasana, you do want to make sure that your feet are not touching the walls, so maybe a little distance to ensure that that doesn't happen. And then legs are over. Now here we're letting the thighs roll open. No more rolling in, no more holding in, everything letting go. Move the buttocks towards the bolster. Lie back. Adjust the blanket so that it's not underneath your shoulders, but it is underneath the neck and the head. Now, front shoulders rolling back and shoulder blades pressing up. This broad, the inner body, expanded opening, and the heart center open. And now, arms extended diagonally to the side, not higher than the shoulders. Little pinkies moving towards the thumbs. That's the final action that shows that we've really placed the arms correctly. Lower back on the mat. Just wiggle the head very gently to be sure that you can find the middle of the back of the skull. We'll have a tendency to kind of turn to the left or the right a little bit. So we want our vehicles to experience evenness. And then exhale, the eyes closing. Shavasana. Softly, gently, keeping the eyes closed but lifting the hands up and resting them on the abdomen. And then softly, gently, keeping the eyes closed, rolling over to the right hand side. The eyes still closed, gently using the hands to push ourselves out, exiting Shavasana. And every time we exit Shavasana, it's like a rebirth, if you will. Now the bolster's right behind you. Just go ahead and sit on the bolster, crossing the ankles, Sukhasana. Palms together in front of the chest. Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the universe know love. May the universe know peace. And may we help all those that we connect with to feel the same. Om. Hands releasing, the chin lifting, the eyelids opening. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I hope that your legs feel useful, purposeful, that connection of the legs into the hips, the heart open, the shoulders open, the arms long, and that you're ready to shine on with the rest of your day, the rest of your week. Namaste. Take care. Let me know how it was for you, and see you again soon.